like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and Bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dennis Sperling Podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dennis Sperling Podcast, tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies, hands on your knees. You can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens, we obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil, they trying to eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters, peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa, Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Sperling Podcast. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Sperling Podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Blizzard King with the cold, hard truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about a story that's circulating on the webs, social media. And it's a story of a young woman who, 9 years ago, this young woman faced one of the most vulnerable moments in her life. She was pregnant, she was unmarried, and she was looking to build a family with a man that she loved. Now, you know, she wasn't asking for the moon. She just wanted the dignity of a legal marriage, but instead of meeting her halfway, the brother he just refused. Okay, he didn't give any reasons. He didn't compromise, and he didn't consider her feelings. Okay, her family, they begged this guy. She cried. She pleaded. She got his family involved. Nothing worked. Okay, the man stood his ground. Okay, he's unwilling to acknowledge the emotional and symbolic importance of marriage in a certificate. We understand why. Okay, now to save herself and to go back to that, we understand why it's a lot of legal ramifications associated with marriage. I get it. Okay, and we talk about that a lot on YouTube. We talk about that in the so-called manosphere, black manosphere, red pill. We talk about that here, but to save herself and her family the shame of having a baby outside of wedlock, she agreed to, just wait and see, Now, fast forward, she tried to wait him out. But today, right, despite her heartbreak and her disappointment, she became what we would call a beacon of resilience. And a lot of us know a lot about coming back, And with her dad's help, she was able to build a career. She was able to provide for her children. And she secured the future. Mind you, this man had multiple children with this woman. This wasn't just the first time pregnancy. Okay. So he was saying no, 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 but he was still dipping in the goodie basket. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, she turned her pain into power. And she got some hard-earned success, and it benefited her, it benefited the children. She did it basically without a husband. This man who dismissed her, right? Because what she wanted, it didn't matter to him. But life has a funny way of turning the tables. And now, with an opportunity to relocate to Texas, okay, and she's not married, there's no legal marriage, it's become an issue. Suddenly, this brother who initially refused her pleas is begging her to get a marriage, right? And she's telling them no, even though they have multiple children together, because it's not advantageous for her to marry him. You see how the roles reverse? Now, fellas, it's a hard lesson for men. Let me be ice cold as possible. This story should be a wake-up call for every man who thinks he can take a good woman for granted. Okay? And this is where I often face criticism from many of my red pill and manosphere folks, okay, who follow that philosophy. You know, they might call me a traditional conservative or a tradcon. They might call me a purple pill simp, blue pill simp. I don't know. Okay, I don't think I'm a simp. I think I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to this game. But nevertheless, it's because I refuse to dismiss the importance of men and women together as intended by nature. See, here's the truth. Man was not designed to live alone. Men and women are social creatures meant to complement each other. And my advice to both men and women comes from a place of knowledge, experience, wisdom, and love, not from cynicism and fear. While I understand the red pill philosophy and I recognize its truths, it's ultimately a temporary fix for a system-wide problem, largely having to do with the way in which the laws have been geared to benefit women, especially in family court, and to make divorce very easy and without any serious consequences for the person who has less money. And typically the person who has less money is the woman. So I understand the problems. Nevertheless, what you need to understand is that, yes, the red pill exposes some hard truths about modern relationships, the risk of marriage, the dynamics of hypergamy, the harsh realities that men face in the world, as I said, related to the court system and the societal expectations are often, there's double standard and they're skewed. But let's be honest, following the red pill philosophy and lifestyle to its logical conclusion will deny the fundamental human need for connection, partnership, and love. And if you go through it and do it through your whole life, you're going to die alone. Just like Kevin Samuels said. Now, as men, you might not care about dying alone, but you're going to die alone. Okay? And there is no country for old men. Just saying. Now, biology always wins. Okay? And human beings are wired for companionship. We're not solitary creatures. The red pill philosophy often paints relationships as transactional, as though men and women are adversaries rather than partners. They train us as competitors, okay, rather than partners or interrelated. But see, that mind step is deeply flawed. And frankly, it's unrealistic in this application because it encourages men to protect themselves by isolating, okay, themselves from meaningful relationships. But in doing so, it robs you of the very thing you seek, and that's fulfillment. By adhering rigidly to this red pill ideology, men often risk, you risk missing out on good women. And this story is a perfect example. And the situation teaches us a few lessons. Number one, you can't have it both ways. This fella, after 9 years, having multiple children by this woman, he refused to marry her in court. Okay? He made his decision. And now she's making hers. Relationships are partnerships, not dictatorships. If you dismiss her needs when she's at her lowest, don't expect her to bend over backwards when you're at yours. The red pill teaches men to control relationships, but in reality, control without compromise leads to alienation. Pride has its consequences. See, pride is what kept him from signing the marriage certificate 9 years ago. Now, pride is what keeps her from doing it today. This is the reality of relationships. She needs, or should I say, think about it like having an orchard or a farm. The seeds you plant will be the harvest you reap. Or as the Bible says, you reap what you sow. And so if you plant disregard and selfishness, don't expect to reap loyalty and devotion. See, red pill ideology often promotes ego, self-interest, but those values rarely foster lasting relationships. The other thing you got to understand is good women aren't forever patient. Okay, a good woman will give you her love, her support, and her loyalty, but not indefinitely. Okay, and if you push her away with your actions, she'll eventually find the strength to stand on her own. And when she does, it's not her responsibility to carry your burdens anymore. See, the red pill teaches men to always be prepared for women to leave. But what it doesn't teach is how to build a relationship that gives her a reason to stay. Okay? Now, marriage is more than just a document. Marriage is a marriage certificate. It isn't just a piece of paper. It's a symbol of commitment, respect, and shared responsibility. If you couldn't see its value when she needed it, that was him. He shouldn't expect her to see his value now that she doesn't. See, the red pill often dismisses marriage as a financial trap, but it underestimates the emotional and societal value of commitment. Marriage isn't just for her, it's for the legacy you build together. Again, this man already had multiple children with this woman. This is not a situation where she hasn't demonstrated her commitment to this man. She sacrificed years out of her life giving birth to his biological legacy, his children. And that's not something that can be overlooked because you can't make a child without a woman. And those children are the most important aspect of your legacy. It doesn't matter what career you had, what job you did, what buildings you built, what scholarships or funds you set up. It's your children. Now, and that's something that they don't often consider. And the reason why red pill philosophy falls short, first of all, is nothing new. It's been around since there was the first man and woman emerged on this planet, okay? But the red pill mindset often assumes, it assumes the worst in women, portraying them as opportunistic or hypergamous by nature, and they can be. But so are men. You don't think men are hypergamous? You don't think men are opportunistic? Sure they are. And see, that goes to explain that human nature is far more nuanced than just allotting these characteristics on one sex. Yes, women seek security and stability, but so do men. Relationships thrive when both people give and take, when they meet each other's needs with respect and understanding to boot. Now, the problem with the red pill is that it asks men to fight against their own nature. Basically, you're supposed to remain celibate for your whole life, or you're supposed to forego long-term stability and just, we'll say, dine and dash. We'll say dine and dash. That's it, right? But see, men are biologically wired to seek companionship and partnership, just as women are. And so denying that need in favor of self-preservation, it only leads to loneliness and regret in the long term. Worse, the red pill's adversarial approach to relationships prevents men from recognizing when they have a good woman in their lives, okay? And it teaches them to view her love as a transaction rather than a gift. And that's why so many men following this philosophy end up bitter. You're blaming women for your own inability to build meaningful connections. It is what it is. Instead of taking a look in the mirror yourself, taking a look at yourself in the mirror. Look, I get it. Okay, I understand. A lot of men today fear the risk of marriage. They worry about losing their assets and their dignity and their respect in the court system, and that often feels stacked against you. I've been there. Okay, but here's the thing. Commitment doesn't start with convenience. If you're a man enough to father 3 children by a woman, okay, you should be man enough to honor her as a mother. it's not about a piece of paper. It's about respect. If you want to avoid the risk of marriage, don't create the obligations of one. Don't build a family with a woman if you're unwilling to build a future with her. Don't enjoy the benefits of her love and her loyalty without giving her the security and respect she deserves. To the fellas, I got your back. You know I love you. But the reason that they put me out the manosphere a couple of winters ago is because I talk like this. See, the red pill might wake you up to some hard truth, but it's not the whole truth. Life is not a battlefield, brothers. It's not a battlefield where men and women are enemies. It's a journey where the right woman can help you build something greater than yourself. And to the ladies, never let anyone guilt you into compromising your values or erasing your pain. Your choices today shape the example you set for your children. Stand firm on what you believe. Know your worth. And I tell men that all the time, because if he truly values you, he'll fight to meet you where you are, not just when it's convenient for him, but because it's the right thing to do. Look, to everybody, I love you, okay? But I also understand that along with the loves, there's some lies and some legalities that go along with that. But it boils down to one thing: responsibility. Men and women are supposed to be together, but mutual respect and accountability are what make that union strong. This is the Blizzard King with the cold, hard truth, and I'm out.
Dennis Berlin Podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.